The summer I turned pretty saga is finally over, or is it? Based on the final episode of season 3 that we just watched, one thing is for sure, the jury is still out, and yes, we still have a lot of unanswered questions, so let's talk about it. Finally, Conrad is in Paris to surprise Belly. Of course, in the end, he is the one who is surprised, because Belly is doing fine. Yes, that lipstick is not her shade at all, but clearly it makes her feel confident and happy. This is the most confident we've ever seen Belly. So good for her. She is even somewhat annoyed to see Conrad there. It's not exactly the warm welcome he was hoping for. Deep down, he thought Belly would be over the moon to see him. And yet she is truly trying to move on, which means Conrad has no place in her life. She doesn't even let him come to her house. This man came all the way from America on a 10+ hour flight. Perhaps he needed to freshen up, use the restroom, or at least sit down. How could she not ask if he needed anything? Anyway, Belly still agrees to show him around until her birthday party in the evening. And this is where the real fantasy begins, because somehow Belly manages to take Conrad to the Champs-Elysees, the Louvre, and Versailles, all in one day. Are you kidding me? If you've ever been to Paris, you know it takes basically an hour-long train ride to get to Versailles, which is its own town outside Paris. That palace is huge. It takes at least 2 hours just to go through the Louvre. And when you add Versailles on top, there is no way your feet would feel remotely okay to take a single step more, let alone attend a birthday party. Before the party, Conrad finally gets the chance to enter Belly's lovely home. How she can afford such a nice place with a waitress income in a crowded city like Paris is beyond me, but still, it's a beautiful home. While Belly is getting ready, Conrad looks around and quickly realises she has a brand new friend group and even a potential new boyfriend. At the party, he also sees that Belly has become a completely different person here. She is a grown woman who wears red lipstick and smokes marijuana. What happened to our lovely Belly? Well, she's grown up, that's for sure. During dinner, we witness the stereotypical bluntness of the French. They don't hesitate to bring up the most uncomfortable subjects, directly questioning Conrad about his love for Belly. Personally, I found it uncomfortable to even watch, but Conrad and Belly handle it fairly well. We also learn that Belly left her Enrique Iglesias lookalike boyfriend 6 weeks ago, and now they are just friends. This opens the door for Conrad to get closer to Belly. There are clear sparks between them, but this time it's not the childish, innocent love of the past. Now there's sexual chemistry and desire amplified by the bohemian and romantic atmosphere of Paris nights. Naturally, the night ends with them being intimate in the most romantic way possible. I can't be the only one who cried seeing them together like that, right? Unfortunately, Belly regrets it almost immediately. She tells Conrad that she has a life here and she doesn't understand what he was expecting when he came. She implies that sleeping together doesn't mean they are suddenly a couple, which is fair. But how could she expect to be with someone she has such a messy past with right after he flew across the globe for her and expect him to feel nothing? Honestly, I don't fully understand what Conrad was expecting either, but I also don't get what Belly was thinking when she chose to be with him again. She clearly hasn't learnt from her past mistakes. She never lets her relationships develop slowly. Instead, she jumps from one to another without a second thought. That might be fine, except when 2 of the 3 people you've dated are brothers. Then it becomes a problem. Anyway, after pushing Conrad away, Belly has her Bridget Jones-style realisation that she was in love with him all along. She runs after him, gets on the train, and declares her love. And it's cute. Okay, it's extremely cute. As much as I criticise them, I can't help it. I find them adorable together. And I'm a sucker for those last-minute Sex and the City or Bridget Jones moments. Still, it feels rushed. In the book, months after Belly moves abroad, Conrad starts writing her letters. Eventually, she writes back, and over time, they rebuild their relationship. It takes years for them to get married, showing they took time to build something real. In the show, however, they basically jump into a new relationship only a few months after Belly was about to marry Jeremiah. And now she claims she was always in love with Conrad. Then what was she doing with Jeremiah for the past 4 years? To her credit, Belly acknowledges that she is the villain of this story. I respect the self-awareness, but this ending shows she hasn't really changed. At least she realises that much of this chaos stems from Susanna, who constantly told them they'd end up together someday. May she rest in peace, but that was not okay. Meanwhile, Jeremiah suddenly starts dating Stephen's colleague. What? Why? How? When? This girl was flirting with Stephen just a couple of episodes ago, and now she's Jeremiah's love interest. It feels like a last-minute decision just to make us feel better for Jeremiah. If he's already fine with Conrad and Belly being together and ready to fall for someone else, then shame on him too. It means he stole his brother's love all those years ago for no reason. All of this leaves me with complicated feelings about the final episode. The big question now is, will we get a fourth season? The book ends with Conrad and Belly's wedding, where Belly reads Susanna's letter. It's a beautiful conclusion, but the show's ending felt rushed. So I wouldn't be surprised if instead of a fourth season, we get a movie to wrap things up in a way that aligns more with the books. We didn't even get Jeremiah's true reaction to Conrad and Belly's romance, nor did we see how their parents would respond. All of this makes me believe Amazon Prime might release a movie special soon as the final chapter. Or maybe that's just wishful thinking because things still feel incomplete. Let me know what you think. If such an announcement happens, we can expect it around August 2026. For more weekly updates, discussions and analysis on The Summer I Turned Pretty, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.